in class 6th. Today we are going to have our second lecture of chapter number 1 of SS, and that is let's know the history. So students, in the first part we have learned about different topics of the subject like primitive man, and also what are the topics specially coming in the subject of SS, that is history, civics and geography. Okay, and after that we were doing about the different topics, like we were learning about different topics like Tadpatra and Bhojpatra. Okay, so in that also we already learned that ki one is Tadpatra, which is the palm trees. Okay, sorry, palm leaves, and the other is Bhojpatra, that is the birch bark. Okay, so that I have already explained to you in my last lecture. Now it is the second lecture, and we will continue again from this topic, that is Tadpatra and Bhojpatra. Okay, so let us start our second lecture. Here Tadpatra and Bhojpatra, that is palm leaves and birch bark. In the ancient time, men used palm leaves and birch bark for writing what we call manuscript today. Tadpatra means manuscript written on the leaves of the palm leaves, and Bhojpatra means manuscript written on birch bark, which is found in the Himalayas. With the help of manuscript written on the palm leaves and the bark birch, we get information about their language and lifestyle. Many such manuscripts have been found. Manuscript written on the palm leaves and bark birch gives us the information about the men of ancient India. So last time also we have learned about this paragraph, okay, and we also know about this Tadpatra and Bhojpatra last time also, and here basically last time we have already learned that ki it is used for writing. Tadpatra means a leaf of a tree, palm tree, and the Bhojpatra is a bark of a tree, that is birch tree. So these both are having their own speciality, and birch tree are specially found in the area like Himalaya. Okay, so here it is said that कि with the help of Tadpatra and Bhojpatra we come to know about the ancient things of the history, about the language of the history, about the lifestyle of the people of the history, and so many things more. Okay, so here we are having the picture of Tadpatra and Bhojpatra. That is, here the picture is given of the birch bark and palm leaves. Okay, so here you can see in from this picture, see just first I think so the birch bark, okay, and second is the leaf of, I think so, here first given about the birch bark, and this bark was used for writing, and here you see their language also is given. I think so before thousands of years people were having different language. Okay, for example we talk about the language. Okay, it is said that Sanskrit is a Latin language, means it is a old language, Sanskrit. Okay, and other than that also there may be different language which were used by the primitive men also. And as you all know that ki we are not talking about the years which is past before few years, okay, but we are talking about the past which is so far, that is thousands year before, okay. So we don't know what was means actually some of the proof we have got by the astrologers, okay, and because of them we come to know about different things which were there in the past of our life. So here especially I want to tell you about the language that before thousands and thousands years ago there were different language. It may be so. Okay, and that we got the proof, that is here the bark, birch bark. Okay. So in that you can find that the writings of the people, those who were there before the thousands or 4,000 or 5,000 year before. Okay, so they were using like these things, okay, because at that time there were no pen, there were no pencil, okay, so because of that they were using this type of things, okay. Now let us talk about the next thing, that is such manuscripts have been preserved in the temple and monasteries. They have text in Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil. So I think so Tamil is also an old language. Okay, and Pratik. So Prakrit language is also an old language. So here three old language name are given. Okay, Sanskrit, Prakrit and Tamil. So here also it is said about the bark tree, that is this is having the, we can find this old means tree in temples, monasteries, etc. Okay, so means we can find this bark of this plant in a means tree in different temples also nowadays. Ancient temple, if you go, maybe in some of the state it may be there as a museum, okay. For example, as we talk, see, actually as we talk about the Somnath temple, okay. So if you are going to Somnath temple, then there are kept the photos of the freedom fighters. As we are just entering the gate of the Somnath, okay, there we can find in the left side, if you go in the entrance gate itself, then you will find different photos of Mahatma Gandhi, then Sardar Patel, okay. So that photos were very old, I think so, before for 50 to 90 years before, okay. So this is what we can see, okay. So these are the things by we get the conclusion about the past. Even poems, dramas, stories and epics were also written on the Tad Patras and Bhoj Patra. They have also been preserved in the form of books. They give us knowledge about the custom and the traditions, that is social beliefs, lifestyle of the king, science, education, medicine, animal, etc. So here it is said about that during ancient time also, see, as we talk about the Mughal age, as we talk about the Rajput age, okay. So in that also we have seen that the kings were also famous for their art, music, etc. Okay, so because of that they were also fond of literature. Okay, that means many of the kings were also writing different poems. They were having in their kingdom the great poets and writers, like we already learn about Kabir, and there were many different musicians also were there, like Tansen and all like that, okay. So these are the things we can get information by the past. And there were also literatures. If we talk about the epics books, that is Mahabharata and Ramayana, and also we talk about the Buddhist texts were there, then Jainism texts were there, then so different Upanishads were there, Ved are there, different, okay. And as we talk about, there were 108 Upanishad book literature, okay, and as we talk about different Purans were also there, that is book of Puran, and that is Vishnu Puran, Shiv Mahapuran, okay. So there were total 18 Puranas, okay. So these different books were also that which is related to the religion, okay. Also along by that, we were having different books which is having different poems and literature, that is the lessons, okay, the stories, etc. After that also we come to know about the lifestyle of the people, okay, by Bhojpatra and Tadpatra, okay, how the people were, how the kings were making their policy, okay. Then we also come to know about the science of the invention which were done during the ancient times. Education system, okay, that we already know that there were I think so Gurukul system was there at that time. Then as we talk about the medicine, the Ayurvedic medicines were there. Education, as we already talked, the education system they were having this Gurukuls, okay. Also at that time in education we can say that the students were going to the teacher's house, and that is Gurukul, and they were learning from means over there, and they were also doing the work with their teacher, okay. So teacher was at that time, they were also giving them to the knowledge of Shastra Vidya and Shastra Vidya both, okay. Also they were working at the home of the Guru, okay. So all type of knowledge, that is all round development was there at that time also. And different we talk about different sloks were there, okay. So this was the system, education system of ancient time. Other than that we also come to know about different animals, okay, and many other things we get the knowledge from Tadpatra and Bhojpatra, okay. Now here the other thing, that is inscriptions. So what is inscriptions? Articles which are carved on metal or stones are called stone inscription. So there are different inscription, okay. So let us start about the let us talk about the stone inscription. So what is the article which are carved on the metal or stone are called inscription. That is many of the writings were written on a big stone, okay. Here you can see a stone inscription of Ashoka's time at Junagadh. It is right now also there, okay. You know about the great king Ashoka, okay. Actually you, as we talk about the ancient age, okay, and we can say that ki Chandragupta was the first emperor of the history, okay. Chandragupta was the first emperor of the history of our country, okay, India. And Chandragupta was having a son, his name was Bindusara, okay. So after that what happened कि Bindusara was also having one son, and his name was King Ashoka, okay. So Chandragupta was a emperor. Actually his grandson, that is Ashoka, also want to become emperor, okay. And many of the kingdoms were under Ashoka region, okay. So Ashoka had a lot of states under his rule, but he also want to capture different other kingdoms, and especially we already know that he had a great war, okay, and with Kalinga, and it was a great war, okay. And after that what happened, already Ashoka had won that battle, but what happened कि his mind, after the war his mind changed, because in the war what happened, in the battle what happened, the soldiers are fighting with each other. Okay, there was a war, and many of the people, many of the soldiers get died in that. Okay, and many of the soldiers get imprisoned. So because of that, here we can say that ki, okay, so here we were talking about King Ashoka. He had made in Junagadh side, he had made a stupa. Okay, this big stone is also known as stupa, and in that they are in that there were something written. Okay, about the three kings, about the three kings of King Ashoka. Okay, that was Pushyagupta and other two. Okay, so it something great things were written. Actually, you already know that we are also writing on the whiteboard the thoughts. So here also some more other beneficial things were written by which we can get the knowledge. So by this also we come to know about the past. Okay, so especially the things which is written on the stone or a metal is known as inscription. So this stupa is also known as inscription. Many times inscriptions were done on metal also. Kings used to conserve with the people by carving his orders and command on these rocks. So many times, see, actually during ancient time when the kings were there at that time, I think so technology was not there. Okay, so what the people were doing, they were having some more idea, some other idea. They were just writing on the stones at that time. Okay, and by reading that stone, okay, by reading the writings on the stone, people come to know about the notice of the region or the kingdom. Okay, some more other rule or new rule is there, or anything, means anything we can say, the instruction which the king has to give to the people of their kingdom. Okay, so it is just notice also. Okay, and that all things were written on the stone at that time. Many kings and queens, so here kings used to conserve with people by carving his orders and command on these rocks. So kings were giving notice, orders, okay, by carving on this. Carving means they have to make, they have to write on the carving, means they are just making a sketch, or they are writing with some or other metal. Okay, so that is giving a shape to a stone, we can say like that. Carving means giving a shape to the stone, and by giving the shapes they are writing different letters. Okay, and that is the notice maybe, or the order of the, or the command. Okay, which is given by the king to the people of that kingdom. Many kings and queens have inscribed information about their kingdom, victories, religions, and culture on these stones. Also, other than that, other than the order or command or the notice, there were also written about the religious things, as we already talk about the Ashoka. Okay, the thoughts. Okay, the good sloks were there, and other things like we can say here about the culture, religion, etc. Okay, so many things were written on the stones. Stone inscription of Ashoka are very famous. Records and inscriptions written on this are long lasting. So, especially King Ashoka was using this method to give notice to, or order or command, or I think so about the religious matter. Okay, whatever the knowledge or the thing which the message which the king has to pass to their people, they were just using these big stones. Okay, so now here third one, copper plate, that is Tamrapatra. The text which is engraved on the copper sheet is called Tamrapatra. Many kings have engraved information about administration and donation on Tadpatra. Such Tadpatra have been found in Gujarat in large number. This gives us the information about the name and the religion, administration and donations. Such Tamrapatras have been preserved by Hemchandracharya Library in Patan. It is in North Gujarat. Also in LD Institute of Ideology, Navrangpura, Ahmedabad, BJ Learning and Research Study, then Vidya Bhavan, Ahmedabad, Shri Mahavir Jain Andhra Kendra, Aradhana Kendra, Koba, Gandhinagar. So these are the names of the institutions where the inscriptions are kept. Okay, where different inscriptions are kept, and nowadays also you can see in Ahmedabad there is we can say that in Ahmedabad also 2 or 3 institutes are there where these inscriptions are kept. Okay, so here as we talk about the copper plate, that is Tamrapatra, so here it is made of, I think so, copper plate. Okay, means at that time people were using the materials. Okay, so specially made of copper. Okay, so people were using to make different things of copper, and they were using this in many ways. Okay, and nowadays also you can see different things like made of copper in and many institutions, many these tamrapatras and information you can get from this different institute like Hemchandracharya Library in Patan, in North Gujarat. If you are going to Patan, then in there you can find this. Then LD Institute of Ideology, that is in Navrangpura, Ahmedabad. Okay. So if you are going to Navrangpura, there also you can find these old things over there. BJ Learning and Research Studies, that is Vidya Bhavan, that is also in Ahmedabad. Okay, if you are going to Ahmedabad, means we are in Ahmedabad, and there in learning and research study, that is Vidya Bhavan, if you are going, then also you can find this. Then Shri Mahavir Jain Andhra Kendra, sorry, Aradhana Kendra, Koba. So if you are going to Gandhinagar, there you also you can find this type of materials. Now we talk about the coins. Okay, coins are also important source of to know about the history. We get information about the name of the king, his religion, culture and time from these coins. Panchmark coins of 5th BC have been found in India. Which is the oldest coin? Other than this, gold, silver, copper coin and, of Greek kings, Mauryan age, Gupta age have been found. They give us information about their social, religious, economic and political structure of the state. So here we are going to study about the coins. Okay, so from the coins also we can get different information about the past. Okay, there was one king. Okay, and he was just one coin was found by the historian, and in that coin what was there, one king was there, and he was playing with a veena. Okay, and with that conclusion, the historian come to know that ki in the ancient age this king was having interest for music. Okay, so this way also we can come to have the proof of different things of the past. We get information about the name of the king, his religion, culture, time by this coin. So we are getting information about different names of the king, then religions, culture and many things by the coins also. Okay, then there is a Panchmark coin of 5th century. Okay, there was a old coin and that is having a Panchmark coin, that is of 5th century before the birth of the Christ. BC means before the birth of the Christ. In the 5th century have been found in India, which is the oldest coin. So as we are talking over here about the 5th century coin, okay, and that is having a punch mark, and it is the oldest coin of India. Other than this, also there were gold, silver, copper coins of Greek kings also. Other than that, Mauryan age was also having different coins, okay. Then Gupta age also were making gold coins, okay. And I know that Gupta age, in Gupta age they were using the coin for business also, okay. So they give us the information about their social, religious, economic and political structure of the state. And by the coin also we can come to know about different economic and political and social and religious life of the people, okay, of their religion or state. So here we come to see about different coins. See this, I think so the different coins are there, and in different coins they were having their own culture, okay, about the dressings, about the gold, copper, okay, what the material is. So all things we come to know by the coins. Then here, and about the religions also we can come to know by the coins. How? By seeing at the god picture, okay, the sketch of the god is also there in the coin. And here we can see this is the coin that we were talking about, the punch mark coin, okay. The punch mark coin is this, okay. So during that time punch mark coin was used at that time, okay. So punch mark coin, the coin created by pressing metal pieces in the mold is called punch mark. See, different coins are having their own quality, okay. So different coins were made at that time also having different structure, okay. So here also we can see that this punch mark coin we can see a design, okay, a different design is there. And how it is made by pressing the metal pieces on the mold, okay. So as you all know that how the coins are made, okay, it is just hammering, okay. At that time it may be hammering, okay, people were using to hammer, and also they were making different shapes and design on the coin, okay, by just hammering the different metal things on that, okay. So that is the talent of that people, okay. They were using different things for making this. Now we can, so we have already read about the today's part, okay. So already we learn about the Tad Patra, Bhoj Patra, okay, then birch bark, that and palm leaves, that is inscriptions also we come to learn about. And we also learn about the copper plate, then coins, especially we have already learned about the coins, okay. So how coins were useful at that age. And in the coin different marks were given, or we can say the it was made by pressing it, okay, having hammering, or some of the designs were made in the coins. So here we come to the end of the second part, okay. So all the students just to read it at your home, okay. And it means you can just read once this chapter at your home, so you can easily understand the chapter. So we have completed our second part. So thank you.